Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is part 4 of this big unboxing. It's going to be a pretty good part, I hope. I'm trying to make it so that every part of this video has some really great stuff. And we're actually going to start out with a book. This is one that I was actually doing a deal with another collector. And we were sort of discussing comics, and he got me sort of interested in a whole bunch of different comics. And he was mentioning that one of the earliest cartoon characters that kind of had a major influence on comics in general was Little Orphan Annie. And he said that, you should really, search for this particular book. And his name is Lyle, by the way. He was basically saying that this book is a really great book to pick up. And, I figured, hey, I'll search for it. And I was actually shocked because it was very affordable. Considering it's a major book, you'd think it would be pretty expensive. He said that it's quite rare to have it where it has actually the dust jacket. So this one actually has the dust jacket. It's a rare book. And I picked it up for 40 bucks. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. That was a very long story, but it is Little Orphan Annie. And this is her kind of first book. It has the dust jacket. It's in rough shape. You can see this is actually bent. I don't know why they bent it in, but, it's her first book. This is from 1927. So it's a very old comic book. It's in great shape, though, you can see. See Little Orphan Annie. And a lot, comic books, just so you know, were the first form. They were literally books. When comics first started, they were, they were in the Sunday funnies or whatever. They were inside newspapers. But then what they would do is they would collect those comic stories from the newspapers into a book format. So therefore, it became comic book. Okay, so this is literally a book. And it's kind of cool. And I don't know if this is truly her first book, because on the back I actually see some other books. There's Little Orphan Annie, again similar, looks like the same one. And then there's another one, Little Orphan Annie in the circus. So you can see that. So this is the same book, and then this one. But this is, I'm pretty sure, I gotta check, I'm gonna double check it, that this is a first print. This is from 1926. I thought 27, but it is 26. Yeah, so 19, you can see right there. So kind of a cool book, that has that Little Orphan Annie kind of component. I like these kind of maybe what's called Platinum Age characters, and I think it's kind of interesting. Little Orphan Annie's like a kind of a major character. Okay, so that's a little strange story, but okay. And the next one is kind of an interesting book. This was kind of a hot book during Halloween, and it's one that you can actually pick up very, 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 very affordably. It's Satan 6, number 4. And this is the first appearance of Jason, as in Jason from the horror movies, the slasher, the slasher killer guy. So it's kind of cool to get these early, these first appearances of kind of I would say culturally important characters, Jason, Freddy Krueger, all those kind of characters are kind of culturally significant characters. And I'm a bit nostalgic for those kind of characters. I like horror movies. So yeah, so Jason's first appearance. And it was very affordable. You can pick this up. It's a cheap book. It's like a $3 book, that kind of level. Or dollar bin. You can probably find this in the dollar bins. Is one that is fairly easy to find affordably. And this one actually kind of, during it was on the hot list and stuff like that, and it kind of surged in value at the time. This one is in the poly bag. You can actually see that it's in the poly bag. You can actually see the poly bag. you know, probably it should be taken out of the poly bag just to preserve it. But I'm kind of weird. I actually like keeping it in the poly bag. I know that's bad, but I feel like it's not complete if you remove the poly bag. I'm kind of weird about that. I'd like actually people's opinion. Should you keep the poly bag and keep it complete? Or should you remove the comic from the poly bag because of condition issues? So I'd love to hear people's feedback about that, actually. That's always something I debate about in my mind. Okay, so next is a collection of comics. And these are actually pulps. I was watching some claim sale on Instagram, and it kind of, you know, it was supposed to be a golden age claim sale. And the guy actually ended up showing a bunch of pulps, and the pricing he had was quite high, because I know pulps are fairly affordable, to tell you the truth. And there's certain series of pulps that are quite expensive, like that are like any of the spicy ones, and if it has spicy in the title, you know that it's going to be expensive. Like there's spicy mystery, spicy detective, spicy crime. It's like all these kind of spicy titles that were a little bit more risque. Those ones can be pretty pricey. Like I've seen those ones. They're quite rare. They're from the early 30s. They can be very, very pricey. But the ones that he was showing were from another series that I know is actually quite a pricey series generally. It's called Weird Fantasy, or Weird Tales, I should say. And there's a few covers in there that are just like considered to be the grails of pulps. So I decided, hey, you know, I didn't want to pay the prices. He was asking like $500 to $1,000 per pulp. And I was like, that's a bit much. I don't really want to go that rate. I don't want to pay that much for those books. So I decided, hey, I'll look on eBay, see what I can find. You know, and I was looking for Weird Tales. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool just to have a few Weird Tales in my pulp collection? And so I found this really great deal. It was $40 for 3 Weird Tales. So I'm going to show you the 3. It's this one. I thought these were kind of good. They are in reasonable condition too. Pulps usually are in terrible condition. They just weren't printed in the best manner. So, you know, they're literally pulp. Like it's the worst type of paper, not conducive of survival. So this is a 15-cent pulp. So it's a fairly early one. This is Weird Tales. And usually on the side, this one is so worn. It is very worn. The spine is completely removed. I don't know what era this is, like what usually on the side it says. So I don't know what that one is. But then we got Weird Tales. This is from September of 1950. Kind of a cool one. I like this. This is the one I like the most, actually, even though it's a little bit rougher condition. And I can't, it's so worn, I can't read the date. But it's another 15-cent one, but it's a really great cover, I thought. I just kind of like the skull and the raven on it. It kind of reminds me of Edgar Allan Poe. So this is Weird Tales from January. I believe this would be probably January 1949, would be my guess. Somebody can correct me in the comments, but I believe it's January 1949. So a really cool cover. For $40, 3 of these, I thought it was a great deal. Usually I find pulps, usually it's in that $10 to $20 range, is usually a fair price. I know it sounds sad, you know, like when you think about it, these books are literally 80 to 90 years old, you know, and they're really affordable, really cheap. But that's because pulps haven't really, there's not the number of collectors that you see in comics. Comics do dominate compared to pulps. But there are some really cool pulps that there are collectors out there for, and can command some big money. But for the most part, pulps are fairly affordable. This one has a little bit of tape on it. I just gotta get this. But so So I don't know what some of these books are. Like, it's as a, you know, the fun part of doing these unboxings, I know what in general is inside the boxes, but I sometimes don't know what's inside, like inside individual packages. So, oh, okay. This is just a cover buy. Somebody showed this. I do my cover challenge, and I watch everybody's covers, like responses to my cover challenges. And sometimes people show some really, really cool books. And I think this was Mr. E, you know, Low Grade Comics. I think that's the name of his channel. He showed this one. And I thought, wow, it's a kind of a cool cover. I really liked it. It was for the zombie theme, like my zombie cover challenge. So this is like Flash. And I think it's just such a great cover. This is Flash 35. He's like running and eating the brains. So it's just a really great cover, I thought, for zombies. So yeah, this is one of the best zombie covers that I can think of. Just really great. He's just literally eating everybody's brains and running super fast and eating all their brains. It would be really dangerous if Flash ever became a zombie, because, you know, we think of zombies as kind of these slow creatures that just sort of, but if they're super fast, that'd be really dangerous. So, Flash 35. Okay, another kind of a cool comic that I picked up. And this was just a random thing where I just noticed it. I love homage covers. And I just randomly saw this one, and it was like, it was less than cover. So I thought, hey, why not? It was like $3. It's Legion of Superheroes, Bugs Bunny. And this is like an homage to, you know, the first Legion of Superheroes and stuff like that. So I just thought it was really a great cover. I have a bunch of homages to that cover, and I actually have that book as well. So yeah, so this is a Legion of Superheroes, Bugs Bunny, #1. And it's actually kind of a cute story inside too. I read it online. Okay, and then we got Fantastic Four #110. And this book, you know, I picked up just because I am into my first appearances. I have Agatha Harkness's first appearance, which is in Fantastic Four '94. But this is the first time that Agatha Harkness appears on the cover. And I just, you know, it's a book that's kind of cool. I thought, you know, it's good to have that character on the cover, their first appearance. So I like getting cover first appearances as well. So, you know, and they're going to make a series about her. So this book could go up in value because of that. So Fantastic Four 110. In a previous unboxing, I showed the first appearance of this character that I'm about to show. This is their first titled book. And it's kind of a quirky character, kind of a silly one, but I like my silly characters. This is George of the Jungle, #1. And I just thought it was a cute cover. And, you know, it's again, I'm very nostalgic kind of guy. My sister used to sing George of the Jungle to me when I was a kid. You know, and that's back when my sister and I were much better acquaintances. We were like best friends growing up. Now, not so much, but at the time I was very close to my sister, and, you know, I'm nostalgic to that, you know, her singing to me. So, this is George of the Jungle, #1, kind of a cool little book. And you can pick this book up usually anywhere from $10 to $20. It's a very affordable book. My friend Kiwi actually recommended this one to me. And it was one that actually was on my list, my want list. And he said, hey, you know, it's up for auction. And it's at a really low bid. It was like $10 or something like that. And it was a slab. And I was like, oh, okay. I was trying to pick it up. It was always one that was never available. It's just a hard book to find because it's a popular cover. And it's this kind of Marvel Fanfare. Now, Marvel Fanfare, they had some really great Good Girl art covers in this numbering. Like in the 50s, I think 58, 59, you know, 57, 58, 59 were all kind of like these Good Girl art covers. And this is one of those. I just thought it was a really great cover. And I was trying to pick them up because I like my Good Girl art covers. I like my Jungle Girl covers. And so I was trying to pick this one up. And when he showed me it for auction, I was like, wow, how awesome. You know, it's always great if you can get it as a slab where you can kind of present it a bit, and it's in a high grade. It's like a 9/8. I won this for $50. I thought $50 I can do, you know, to me, that's the cost of getting the slab. You know, as I mentioned many times, I'm in Canada, and in Canada, you got to ship it to the US, ship it back. And that shipping alone is like $20. And then getting it going through the walkthrough or whatever, usually it's about $30. So ultimately, it's about $50. You know, so it kind of works out that this is a great deal. It's like the cost of the slab. So, and I was quite happy to get it. So this is, what is it? Is there anything special about this book? No. It is a painted cover, backup pinup by George Freeman. Cover by John Chi Odo. So kind of cool. But a cool book. I just, you know, I really like it. Actually, has a really great back cover. Isn't that wonderful? With Impulse, I believe it is. So kind of cool. Great, great book. Okay. That's that one. And then there's a mystery box. So there's, I always wonder what's going to be inside this one. Okay. Oh, they packaged it really interesting way. Okay. It's like so many, like so many envelopes to get to the comic. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So now we get into big book. Just random big book. And this is actually a major book. It's not a series that most people would be familiar with, but it is a pretty major book. This is Dizzy Dames, #1. And like this series is actually great for good girl art. I'm actually trying to get the run. I only have this one. It's like, so might as well start at #1. But I got a great deal on it. Usually this is like a $300 to $400 book. I picked it up for $2. So I was quite happy with that. And it's just such a great cover. There's, I think it's #3 that has like the best cover. It's kind of like this farm girl, kind of farmer's daughter kind of looking like cover. But just, I thought this was just such a great series, Dizzy Dames. Actually, I was sort of found out about this series watching Heritage Auctions. And, you know, I was like, oh, that's a really cool thing. I put a bid, I think I put a bid of like $100 or something. And it went up to like $600 to $700. It was like, okay, I'm not going to win that one. But then I had it on my want list ever since, because I just thought, you know, it's such kind of, I like these good girl art covers. I thought it was kind of a cute name, Dizzy Dames. Yeah, so kind of fun. So this is AGC, which is American Comics Group. And they're kind of like one of these publishers that had a lot of really great books. And sort of one of those lost to the golden age kind of companies. So that was kind of cool. Okay. Oh, actually a couple more slabs. So a lot of slabs in this this one. I just, okay, gotta open this quickly. One sec here. This one, it's like pinned inside of multiple things here. And I hope I can get it out. Okay, got it out. And this one I won really, really cheaply. And I thought it was really kind of cool. This is Thor 185. And this is, I believe, the first cover appearance of like is it Eternity or like or Infinity? Is it Infinity? It's this character. I think it's Eternity. It's one of those characters. So just kind of a cool book. See the God of Thunder alone and unharmed in the world upon the world beyond. But just a really kind of a cool book. And I got it for a great price, so I was quite happy. Again, a little bit more than Cost of the Slab. So great book. So that's that one. And we got one more, and then I'll wrap up this unboxing. So I think I got these two books together, actually, from the same vendor. And this one is a Todd McFarlane book. This is the first cover done by Todd McFarlane, you know, in all. And it's the second time that Todd McFarlane was involved with a story. So this is Infinity Inc. number 14. This is the first time, this is the first cover by Todd McFarlane. So kind of a cool book. A lot of people chase after Coyote, which came out later. Coyote is his first time at Marvel through like Epic. But this is his first time actually published, his first published artwork. So this is from 1985. So, and he first worked at DC, and this is his first, Infinity Inc. number 14. So kind of a cool way to end. So thanks for watching. This is part 5. Still got 6 more parts to go, and there's a lot more great stuff to show. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye for now.